Okay, good afternoon. So in today's tutorial, we're gonna talk about TM Tech POS, and we're gonna go through the left side panel that all of the users would see. You may or may not see all these options dependent on the packages that you take. So TM Tech POS is a cloud solution. It allows you to manage your business remotely, um, and manipulate everything. You can manage your business from any type of device, phones, tablets, etc. You can see what's going on in your business, and you're actually not at the business. You could change your prices, you can update your products, you can manage the entire business. You can manage multiple businesses as well, with TM Tech POS, and have all of that for your viewing. So here we have some dummy data, and this is the dashboard. This is the home dashboard. So on top we would see all the statistics, which is the sales, net sales, invoice due, total purchases due, yes, salary returns, etc. And scrolling down on the dashboard, you can get your last 30 days. You can get your financials, all your payments due, your sales payments and your purchase payments, your stock alerts. So let's say you have a stock threshold at 40. Once you go to 40 or 39, um, that product would present itself on this list. So when you come to the dashboard, you can take a quick glance at your products that is low in stock. You have your sales order and your pending shipment. So in this tutorial, we want to go through the user management. By clicking on the left panel here, under user management, you will see three options, which is the users, the roles, and the sales commissions. So your sales commission is basically if you have an employee and you are paying them based on a commission of the sale. So for instance, if your employee if you say that your employee works on a 10% commission, whether that is he's on the road, etc., then you place that employee under the sales commission. You set up your percentage, and that employee gets paid a percent of the total sales of what the particular item. So here we have the users and the roles. So I want to get into roles first. So we click on roles. On this screen, we will see all the roles that we have, and we will see a button to the top right hand corner to add role. So you can add as many roles as possible that you would like. If you have a purchasing officer and you want that person to only view the products and the purchasing aspect of things, then you create that user and you only allow that user to the purchasing rights, right? So here we're gonna click on add user, and let's say we say okay, purchase, PURCHSE, purchase officer, right? So what we would want that purchasing officer to do, this is basically what that is telling you. So to select service staff and stuff like that, you may not want them to do that. So this is a particular rule. If you may not want them to create, view, or add users, you may not want them to create, view, add, or delete any particular role that we are in as well. So your suppliers, you may want them to view all suppliers. You may want them to view their own suppliers. So it's either they can view all suppliers or view their own suppliers, the suppliers that they are dealing with. Or if we want to select all, then we select all. So the circle is either or. The box, you can tick. So this particular purchasing officer that you place under this heading, purchasing officer, they can add a supplier, they can edit a supplier, they can delete a supplier, or they can you can make them view their own that they create or view all. So in this instance, we have one purchasing officer, so we want them to view all. All right. You may not want them dealing with anything with the customers, whether view all customers, add, edit, or delete customers and view the sale history of those customers. If for some reason the manager is the person that is actually doing doing the purchasing, doing all of these things, then you check off all of these things. So they can add that, they can add roles, they can do suppliers. So, but for now, we would create just a purchasing officer by themselves. All right, so we're not allowing them to do anything with customers. So now we go on to products. So yes, so we would want them to do everything with products. They can view the products, they can add the products, they can edit the products. You may not want them to delete products. They can add opening stock for products, or they can view put the purchase price, right? And this little blue icon tells you permissions to view purchase price and the product detail. So the system has a lot of security for the owners, for the managers. It have a lot of security. So you can manipulate the system as to how best you would want them to be able to access your information, because your information is confidential, especially your purchasing history and your purchasing price, etc. So yeah, we may want them, if they make a mistake, we may want them to delete a product. Just throwing in one bit of advice here. I've seen many people, many customers that try to do it. You create a product, you sell that product, and then you want to delete that product. No, we don't delete products with sale history, because what does that does it messes with the reporting aspect of things. If you delete a product, there's many other variables that would be affected, especially your financial records. So we would not want to delete any product. What we can do, as we go on in this tutorial into further aspects of it, uh, we may want to place products inactive, and that is the best thing. Once you place a product inactive, it means that that product can no longer be sold via the point of sale. Right, so we're moving on. So here we have purchasing and stock adjustments, so we select all. So what we want them to do, we want them to view all purchase and stock adjustments, add purchase and stock adjustments, edit purchase and stock adjustments, delete it, add purchase payments, edit purchase payments, delete purchase payments, update purchase payments. So for a purchasing or a purchasing personnel that is not the owner of the business, let's say this business is growing, we may not want them to delete a purchase payment once it's stamped on the system, or we may not want them to edit a purchase payment. Now there are ways to, let's say, they enter an incorrect amount. Let's say it's too little, they can make another payment to facilitate with the balance. Or if it's too much, we can do a return to that vendor or that supplier for the funds that they have overcharged, right? So the POS aspect, we may not want them to go into selling anything, so we leave the POS aspect out. We would not want them to do any sales in the background, let's say quotations and all of these different things. So we leave that out. We would not want them to make any draft sales as well, any quotations, because this is our purchasing officers and not our sales officer. The shipments going out, we may not want them to mess to affect that. The cash register, no. Our brands, yes. What they can do is view brands, add brands, edit brands, delete brands. Sorry, we may want them to view the tax rate, add tax rate. We may not want them to edit tax rates. For the unit, we may want them to view, add, edit, or delete. And I would always take out delete and leave that for management, or for someone to authorize it. Yes, we would want them to deal with the categories because this is, is purchasing. They would be adding products, adding new products, and new items to the list. So we may not want anyone to delete any any delete or edit any categories. It must come from an authorized person, right? So what we want them to do here, so we will want them to view purchase and sell reports, um, to view stock value, sale representative reports, no, view register reports, trending product reports, of course, view stock reports and adjustment reports, profit and loss, no, expenses, no, customer and suppliers, no, tax reports, no. So in the settings, this is for the owners or for management. Expenses, no. They can view the home. We don't want them to view any accounts, and if you have any bookings and stuff like that, you may not want them to do that. Access selling group price. This is not something for the purchasing officer either. So we don't want them in any part of the accounting module because TM Technologies, as I said, we this is a built-in, because of the amount of modules we have, we can incorporate the accounting module where you have your financial everything is synchronized, where you may not even need to hire a to hire an accountant. So the AI assistant, we may or may not want them to do that, to view assets management. No. The CRM, no, we would not want that. The essentials, no. So if we go through the essentials, add, edit, view. This is like leave and time and attendance, and view pay, to-do list, etc. Create messages. HMS, this is for hotels, for hotel bookings. So if you have a hotel department, if you have a hotel, if you're running an hotel, and you can manage your rooms, create bookings, etc. Inventory management, definitely we would want them to add and edit. Manufacturing module, no. Project management module, no. Repair module, this is for phone shops, no. Spreadsheet, yes, we can allow them access the spreadsheets and create the spreadsheets. Super admin subscription, that would not be in a customer's package. And the WooCommerce, yes, we can allow them to sync these new products, right? And now we have all our variables, that is coming under the purchasing officer role. So we scroll down to the end and we click on save. So now this is saved. We see we have our purchasing officer role. So now we are going to create a user and add this user to this specific role. So we go over to the left panel, users. We add a user. So we say this, and only the options with the asterisk is mandatory. So we say Mr. Purchasing Officer, and we say purchasing at gmail.com, and we click. This is checked by default, is active. It's not a service staff because this isn't a restaurant I'm creating this for. So we say allow login, yes, and we say purchasing. Purchasing is the username, password, purchase 123. So now we come to the role, and we say, okay, this is my purchasing officer. What location would we like this purchasing officer to be able to view? or to work within, because TM Technology POS, once again, we can have multiple businesses under this one umbrella. So we could, if we have two businesses, we could say purchasing for all locations or just purchasing for one location. So this is the sales commission. If we were to activate this purchasing officer on a sales commission, we put our percentage here, max sale discount percentage. This means that if this is for sale representatives, sorry, right? Max sales, if we giving them a threshold, here's what you can give your customers as you see it fit, a 5% discount without hampering us. We would allow you to do that, right? So these information is self-explanatory. It's just information about this particular customer, like mobile number, social, blood type, marital type, family contact for emergency, etc. So we have the banking details here as well. We have the HRM module. We have the payroll module. So once if we're using the HRM module, if your business is using the HRM module, you can link this customer one time into the HRM module and say what department this employee belongs to. So everything is synchronized, and we can set their payroll, what company they're being paid, whether it's monthly, daily, weekly, and their pay component, right? And that is it in creating a user. We click on save, and just like that, our new user has been formed. We can either go to edit this user, view this user, or delete this user. We can export all users, whether it in different formats, CSV, Excel. We can print this user sheet, all the users, export it to PDF, and we can say which column we would like to be visible. So if we click on view user, we would see this user information, all the information that we placed or we did not place. We can come and edit this user. We can also add specific documents, whether that is ID card, whether that is ID cards, you know, certificate of character, anything valuable to the company that you are upon hiring this employee, you may have asked them, to bring verification of certain qualifications, resume, etc. Yes, we can. You can store that. You can store that here, and that is the end of creating a user. I hope everything in this first tutorial was clear, and you understand all the components thus far. Thank you.